morning, students. In last class, we have discussed about terminologies in the spherical mirror. Radius of curvature, center of curvature, focal length, principal focus. These are the terminologies. Now, we will discuss about Cartesian sign convention. This is 3 mark very important question in the examination. Now, Cartesian sign convention for the spherical mirror. Now you consider this is concave mirror and P be the pole of the concave mirror. Cartesian sign convention means here we are measuring the distances. While measuring the distances, we are giving some particular sign, that is positive sign and negative sign. From the Cartesian sign convention, we know that in which cases the distances are positive, in which cases the distances are negative. Now we will see how we are giving the Cartesian sign convention. Before going to Cartesian sign convention, you assume normal graph. You imagine that this is normal graph. This is the origin. This is plus x-axis. This is minus x-axis. This is plus y-axis. This is minus y-axis. Along the plus x-axis, you are getting all positive value. Along the y-axis, along the plus y-axis, you are getting the positive value. If you go along minus x-axis, you are getting negative value. If you are going downward, that is along minus y-axis, again you are getting negative value. This is normal graph. Now, here, this is the principal axis, this is the concave mirror, this is the pole. The first rules in the Cartesian sign convention is all the distance are measured from the pole along the principal axis. Is it clear? Now the starting point is pole. From the pole, all the measurement must be done. Therefore, here pole is acting like a origin of the graph, like this. Now I am putting the pole of the graph in the origin of the graph. Therefore, all the distances must be measured from the pole of the graph, pole of the concave mirror, and all the distances must be measured along the principal axis. This is the first rule. Now, the second rule is the distances are taken positive if it is along plus x direction, and it is taken as negative along minus x direction. Now imagine that this is the concave mirror arrangement. If you measure the distance right side of the pole in this direction, then that distance is taken as positive. For example, here is 6 cm is there. By using Cartesian sign convention, we take it as plus 6 cm, plus 5 cm, plus 4 cm, because it is the along plus x direction. It is right side of the pole. And the distances are taken negative along minus x direction. This side. From the pole, if you go left side, then that distances are taken as negative. For example, this distance is, if it is 3 cm, then you must take it as minus 3 cm, minus 4 cm, minus 5 cm. Is it clear? The second rule, if it is a pole, if I go along plus x direction, then the distances are taken positive. From the pole, if you go along minus x direction, then the distances must be taken as negative. This is about horizontal direction. Now, vertical direction. In vertical direction, what is the third rule? The upward distances perpendicular to the principal axis are taken as positive, and the downward distances are taken as negative. Is it clear? Now, if you look at the object AB, this AB is 2 centimeter. Then this is taken as plus 2 centimeter because it is above the pole, above the principal axis. Now this here is A dash B dash. For example, it is also 2 centimeter. Then it is taken as minus 2 centimeter because it is below the pole, below the principal axis. Is it clear? Above the principal axis, you take it as positive. Below the principal axis, you take it as negative. These are the Cartesian sign convention. Is it clear? What is the first rule? All the distances must be measured from the pole. The second one is the distances are taken positive if it is along plus x direction. The distances are taken negative if it is along minus x direction. The upward distances from the principal axis is taken as positive. And the downward distances from the principal axis is taken as negative. These are the Cartesian sign convention. Now, 3 mark very important question. Relation between focal length and radius of curvature in the case of concave mirror. Now we have to find what is the relation is there in between focal length and radius of curvature of the concave mirror. Or in the examination they may ask that show that f is equal to r by 2. F is focal length, r is radius of curvature. Now this is the diagram for the relationship between the focal length and the radius of curvature. Now you imagine that let xy be the concave mirror. Let P be the pole of the concave mirror. Here LM be the incident ray. One ray is incidenting LM on the concave mirror. When it is incidenting, at that point we are drawing a normal. Therefore MC is what? Normal. MC is normal. Let theta be the angle of incidence. From the law of reflection, we know that angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Therefore it is reflected by angle theta. After reflection, it is passing through principal focus of the concave mirror on the principal axis. Is it clear? CM is the normal and after reflection it is passing through principal focus F. Let the distance between pole, let C be the center of curvature of the concave mirror, and capital F is principal focus of the concave mirror. Here the distance between pole and the center of curvature is taken as radius of curvature. Therefore capital R is radius of curvature. The distance between pole and the principal focus is taken as focal length, small f. Therefore small f is focal length. Here what I am doing, we are drawing one perpendicular line M2D on the principal axis. If you clearly observe this diagram, the distance between D and P is very small. This distance, we must assume that the distance between D and P is very small. And theta, the angle of incidence, is also very small, and the distance D to P, that distance is also very small. By assuming these things, we can derive this relation. Now you consider triangle. Triangle CDM. This triangle CDM, like this. M D C. CDM. In the triangle CDM, what is the angle? Theta. This is the angle theta. Now, what is tan theta? Tan theta is equal to opposite divided by adjacent. This is the opposite, MD, divided by adjacent is CD. Now, for small angles, we are already assuming that the incident angle is very small. For small angles, tan theta is nearly equal to theta. Therefore, this equation becomes theta is equal to MD divided by CD. You take it as equation number 1. Is it clear? You take it as equation number 1. Now consider second triangle. Triangle. Here is FDM. Triangle FDM. This triangle. This is M. This is D. This is M. FDM. Here inside angle is 2 theta. In first triangle, angle is theta because external angle is equal to internal angle, opposite internal angle. Therefore, if it is theta, here is theta. Here theta plus theta, 2 theta. External opposite angle is 2 theta. Therefore, internal angle is equal to 2 theta. Is it clear? How theta and 2 theta are coming? Theta plus theta, 2 theta. Theta only theta. Now, again, now it becomes tan 2 theta. Tan 2 theta. Again, tan theta is equal to opposite divided by adjacent. That is MD divided by FD. For small angles, tan 2 theta is nearly become equal to 2 theta. Tan 2 theta become 2 theta. Then this equation becomes 2 theta is equal to MD divided by FD. You take it as equation number 2. From first triangle, equation number 1. From second triangle, equation number. Now you divide equation number 2 divided by equation number 1. Now what is equation number 2? Here 2 theta is 2 theta divided by equation number 1. Equation number 1 LHS, that is theta. Now equation number 2 RHS is MD divided by FD. Equation number 1 RHS, MD by CD. By rearranging, I can write it as CD divided by MD. Now look at here. Here theta will get cancelled. MD will get cancelled. Therefore, 2 is equal to CD divided by FD. Now look at the diagram. If you look at the diagram, here CD distance is nearly equal to CP because the distance between D and P is very small. Therefore, CD distance is nearly equal to CP distance. What is CP? P to C. Pole to center of curvature is nothing but radius of curvature. Therefore, I take it as R. Now FD. This distance F to D is nearly equal to F to P. This is equal to this because this distance is very small. Therefore, FD is nearly equal to FP. Now, what is FP or PF? The distance between pole and the principal focus is nothing but focal length. Therefore, you take it as F. You put these values in this equation. Then this equation becomes 2 is equal to CD, that is nearly equal to CP, that is equal to R, divided by FD, that is nearly equal to FP, that is nearly equal to small f. Finally, focal length is equal to r by 2. This is the relation. That is, focal length in the case of concave mirror or convex mirror is half of the radius of curvature. If radius of curvature is equal to 40 centimeter, then focal length is 20 centimeter. If focal length is 10 centimeter, then radius of curvature is 20 centimeter. Or we can write radius of curvature is equal to 2 times of the focal length in the case of spherical mirror. Okay, this is very important derivation from exam point of view.